Welcome back to the 2024 Austrian Championships. Leon, Sonnleitner and me will cover the back nine as well. So Leon, difficult track. We had a lot of holes in the open until now, but we entered the woods and hole 10.
Yeah, we're going into the woods now. Most of the back nine is going to be pretty technical. As you can see, Laurens and Stani got off to pretty good starts, and the both of us were really struggling out there. So let's see if we can turn it around on the back nine, and let's see if Laurens and Stani can continue. Definitely a lot of stroke swings to be had on this back nine. So tell us about hole 10 here.
Hole 10, there's a mandatory, but it's the line you want to throw anyway. It's just to keep the people in the middle, to have them throwing straight. And the perfect shot here is a pushing hyzer through this gap. Some people just try to get through the mando and get lucky to the right side trees. And some people I've heard try a very aggressive side-arm flex line. But let's see if anyone on this card will try that.
Stani going with the fairway driver here, just grip locks it a little bit and misses the mando. And as you just said, Laurens here just going with the forehand, trying to maximize his chances of hitting the mando. And he does make the mando and some decent kicks at the end, and he's gonna have around 11 meters probably for his birdie. I'm going with the more traditional shot here, just putter, pushing hyzer, and yeah, that's going to be a very makeable putt for the birdie.
That's exactly the line I envisioned. You played it perfectly. But a slower disc than I expected. Yeah. I'm going with a very beaten resistor. It's very straight by now. It's usually a very overstable fairway, but this one is very straight, and it doesn't matter because it slips and I get lucky to land in the middle. Yeah, forehand echo to approach. Still a weird angle from here.
Yeah, the path to the green is definitely pretty packed with trees. You get through for the most part, and you're gonna have like 7 or 8 meters for your par. And here is Stani from the drop zone, which is still a pretty tricky shot, but pretty short. And he's going with a straight putter here. And gives it a lot of speed and just floats it past. That's going to be a super tough putt for his bogey.
Okay. Another tester for Laurens. Barely even clips the low rim. And Stani, oh, even with a branch in his way. Tricky bit. But makeable for him? Definitely, the height was right. Another good bit.
He's gonna still have a tester for his double bogey.
I'm off the mark.
You're gonna have to settle for the bogey, and here's Stani for his 5.
Yeah, those rainy conditions. You see us swiping our pants all the time, trying to get rid of raindrops.
I have around 6 meters, I guess, for my birdie. Looks way shorter than it is, but somehow managed to connect, and yeah, finally getting something going here.
This really seems like a turnaround for you. The throw-in on the end of the back nine and now this birdie. Yeah. Let's get the train rolling, the birdie train. Hole 11 is another birdie hole, I'd say. This course really plays more towards par. So often you're happy with a par, but here 2 touchy shots give you the birdie. High hyzer into the gap. Landing right here. And then a touchy sidearm, missing those guardians in front, and then this big guardian tree on the left hand side of the basket. But you have more than enough space to navigate through this right turning gap.
I'm just kind of going with my gut instinct, throwing a putter, and I just hit it a little bit early. Kind of want to go a little bit more on the outside, and as I learned from Flo after his shot, you actually want to go a little bit higher as well.
Yeah, a stall hyzer, something that swings in there to really get the right distance.
Lauren's going super aggressive with a forehand flex shot, and he somehow manages to get all the way through there. Not sure how that worked.
That doesn't make sense. There are so many trees, but somehow he managed, and now he has a very unusual approach, but an easy approach from behind those trees.
You're going probably 10 times as high as I threw it, and just absolutely perfect. Can't really do much better than that. Stani is going to try to follow you, also going with the fairway driver. Just trying to swing it in.
And a bit more unstable, as you can see. A bit more flip up, and this one pushes so far through the gap that he has a very short approach. Still tricky nonetheless.
Yeah, as you can see, I have practically nothing. I'm just going for a super aggressive full power thumber shot through this tiny gap.
And this was impressive, even though it hit some branches, to even get yourself a look from back there.
Yeah, I was super happy with that. That could have gone really bad, really quick. And obviously I would like to have an approach like you guys. Pretty simple forehand hyzer here. Still a technical shot, but yeah.
Bit tight, but managed to get around it.
That's gonna be a super makeable birdie putt. Stani opting for the backhand turnover, as expected. Both shots work probably equally well. He also makes it work, hits the top
Austrian
of the basket, hits the flag, and he's gonna have a pretty simple birdie. We actually missed Lawrence's upshot. He was in a super weird spot where he could just kind of putt it like 40 meters away, and he connects for the easy birdie. Great one to get.
Nobody will ever play this hole again like he did.
Stani also tapping in his birdie, and we missed my birdie look. I hit the band, so...
It was a good bit from the mud even. You didn't have much to push off of, and all arm, you really made a good run from over there.
You also tap in your birdie, so 3 birdies, 1 par on the card. Definitely good group work right there. Playing 3 under on to hole 12.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite hole in the course. One of the easier ones, but you really have to get the line right. It's a turnover or slide flex shot that then pans out and pushes straight through the very low gap down there. Some low-hanging branches, you want to hit the ground in the gap and then slide up. So yeah, a very unique shot shape, I guess.
Lawrence opting for a very interesting shot. He's actually going with like a putter or mid-range on a forehand, which is probably going to make it pretty tough to park it, but he just feels super comfortable, hits the gap. I'm guessing exactly how he wanted, and...
Yeah, look how tight the line is to the left side. He hits some branches at the edge, but makes it through pretty well. But this line is so technical, but if he feels confident like that, why not?
Yeah, definitely a smart decision, because he's just going to give himself a look pretty often with that play. And you're going with the more traditional play here, I think. Light flex shot over that left high grass there. Just a little bit too far inside.
I'll go with a putter tomorrow, just letting it turn on its own a bit more to avoid shanking it on the steep angle.
Stani here opting for the putter turnover as well.
It's a bit more touchy, but that's the easier play probably. To let the disc do the work and
he was just a meter too far outside at the end. Actually a pretty good shot, but he's gonna have a long look.
2 circus edge looks for the card, and Leon going with a really steep backhand flex line. The hillside on the left makes it difficult to throw that well, but you executed it so perfectly. And you can see navigating those low-hanging branches, hitting some, but it even slowed your disc down enough to get you a park job.
Yeah, definitely kept me close. I was super happy with that. I feel like if you want to open up the gap, you kind of have to give it quite a bit of angle.
Yeah, me struggling to get up and down, but a look for the par.
Lowlands putting from pretty much exactly circle's edge. Not an easy look. Just misses it high. Stani from a little bit of a shorter distance, probably like 9 meters, I guess.
And uncharacteristic for him. I think he just didn't get his back leg up enough. Looked a bit weird, maybe he had a weird stance. Yeah, me straddling. Saving the par. And Leon with the park job. Oh, no, Lawrence is first. Leon is even closer. What a luxury to putt after all of us.
Yeah, I'm in a pretty decent birdie position here. Managed to get a stroke on the card. Taking that one back that you guys took from me on the last one. And I think that's going to be a pretty common result for most cards here. Maybe 1 or 2 birdies, rest pars. As soon as you hit this main gap, should be pretty fine. Hole 13 is a tough one.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite holes, but it created a lot of backups because this initial gap, as you can see, a lot of woods to the side, and you have to hit a perfect flex line or side-arm turnover that then fades back into this gap if you want to have an easy look at the birdie. And then you have to still navigate a tight line towards the basket. Most people will have to throw a very steep backhand turnover on the second shot if they don't get to this gap up there.
As you can see, I'm going with the forehand turnover, basically exactly how I wanted to go with that shot. And I'm gonna be basically in the prime spot.
It uses a bit more of the fairway, so it's a bit more risky, but you saw how comfortable Leon felt on that shot. Very powerful line, and he put it in the perfect position. And Lawrence just pumps it long. He gained so much power on his sidearm in the last few months. I haven't seen a sidearm like that from him ever. Very, very powerful. Yeah, me going with a more traditional turnover line. Getting lucky, not hitting the branches.
And yeah, that's gonna be a pretty decent spot. Basically, open shot, probably around 50 or 60 meters. That's exactly what you want. Yeah. And next, we have Stani here.
Refusing to throw a sidearm again.
Yeah, this is a tough shot with the backhand. It definitely can work, but it's never gonna be in the prime spot. He just turns it over a bit too early, and yeah, that's gonna be a really tough second shot.
As you can see, just putting toward the fairway. Yeah, nothing more he can do. The thick Austrian rough needle trees make it impossible to find a line through the woods, some tiger line.
Stani pumping it way too hard on his approach, and he's gonna have probably around 15 meters left. Definitely not how he envisioned that hole to go.
Yeah, very common in the woods to compensate for accuracy with power. But you don't. Touch approach, perfect. Using the stability of your overstable mid-range perfectly. What was that?
That was a justice.
Yeah,
just trying to make the gap as big as I can on every shot with those flex lanes.
Me doing something similar. Just a bit more steam, but still fine.
And Lawrence is just threw his shot way too far and missed the landing zone, but he still has a decent gap to go through here and just hits the only branch there really was to miss. But he's still gonna have a birdie look, so should be good.
Bit outside the circle. This could be a confidence boost. Oh. Barely low, but looked like a good stroke.
Yeah, Stani with no chance to make it through there. He's gonna have to settle for a pretty big number. Easy birdie for you. A little bit of confusion. I'm also probably just outside the bullseye.
Yeah. Some great birdies. Ow, celebration. Nice. This is a good get. Really feels nice to have this one. Stani tapping in for the bogey, I believe.
We are here. We are one. We will fight. We will fall. We will prevail. From the fjords of Norway to the shores of Spain, from the fire of Iceland to the hope of Ukraine, 30 countries, one voice. Go Europe!
Hole 14, probably one of the most difficult par 3s you'll ever see in Central Europe. You have to get over this hill where the FPO tee is and then push straight through the next gap. The best shot for that is probably a backhand flip up. So to get over the hill and then flip up straight and push forward. I've seen almost nobody making it in practice, so let's see if anyone can do it this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not interested in going for it. I'm just trying to go putter.
I was so surprised by this.
Throw it a bit early and kick into crazy rough. So yeah, not the smartest idea to lay it up because the gap definitely doesn't get bigger if you throw a slower disc. But yeah, I can only learn from that. These guys are definitely going a little bit more aggressive and Flo almost with a really good shot, just a little bit too far right. But that's going to be a pretty decent spot to save the par.
Yeah, that felt good out of the hand, just a tiny bit too much flip. Lawrence, just hitting it perfectly. That was so ridiculous. The friendly roll towards the basket, absolutely parked in the bullseye. We couldn't believe that one.
Yeah, that was really solid. Just pured it with the fairway driver. Kind of exactly how you want to birdie this one.
Stani getting lucky,
then
unlucky. But he'll have something to save the par.
I'm down here quite a bit. I have this tiny gap and I was super happy to hit it. And then just missed the last tree on the left side of the gap. Stani with a similar shot, a little bit more open.
This is pretty makeable. But then he shanks it. And no way. That's a paradox. That can't happen. Side on coverage.
I'm on forehand. Let's see how he does. Perfect shot.
And this makes even less sense. It worked. Yeah, congrats, Stani. Side on debut and coverage, I believe. Me going way too aggressive with my glitch.
Yeah, very long jump putt. That's going to be a tester for the par. I'm probably 35 meters away for my par. And I really want to make this because I haven't played a bogey since hole 3.
All of us thought that was in all the way.
Yeah, just missed it a bit low. Pretty good run from that distance for sure. Let's see if you can connect on your par putt.
Trying to lift it over this small tree. Just slightly off the mark again. That's the theme for the round for me. Just felt like my aim was a bit too wide not quite getting my shots right.
Lawrence tapping in his birdie. I'm pretty sure that was the only birdie of the day on that hole, so yeah, great execution there by him. And he's actually taking 2 strokes on the entire card there, so definitely a big separator hole.
Bogey is definitely way more common on this hole than birdie, even double probably.
On to hole 15, the last one that's really in the woods.
So you want to pump a pretty straight drive with an overstable disc that pushes to the left to get you in the right landing zone. Here to the left is fine, but you really want to get up here to then have an easy side-arm approach into the green. The gap to the basket is still rather small, so you have to fade at the perfect time to get in there. It's pretty guarded, but once you get down there, you'll have a putt.
Lawrence is opting for a pretty overstable distance driver here, going very aggressive. Let's see if he can earn the reward for the risk. Going pretty low, testing the right side, and that's pretty much exactly what you want. Big risk, big reward.
This tree line on the right catches a lot of discs, and you sometimes have nothing to approach the basket from there. So he risked a lot there to push it that far.
I'm just going mid-range here, just trying to put myself in a decent spot. I feel like the entry to the green is pretty tough either way, so I'm really just trying to give myself some chance and then get my second one close. And you actually have a pretty early release here, but you get all the way through to a very decent spot.
That was so friendly. That felt really good to get lucky after my stupid approach on the last hole. Getting at least 1 stroke back from the course.
Stani grip locking it a little bit, but also kicks back, so we have 3 pretty similar shots, and Lawrence is a little bit further down there. Stani opting for a MD1 turnover here. Definitely not an easy shot. Turns it in there just a little bit too early, but he's gonna have a putt.
He somehow filtered through. The trees up there are pretty thick, but somehow he manages to get through and have a bird look.
Yeah, I'm opting with a little bit of a wider line here, trying to hit that late gap. Just a little bit too far left, but I'm super happy with that one. I have around 10 meters left. And you're actually in a position that's good enough where you can go forehand, which is a really nice advantage to have. Yeah, also just a bit long, super hard to hit this gap on the second one. Let's see if Lawrence can show us how it's done.
Also long.
Same mistake.
The distance control on that one is so hard. The main gap isn't even that small, but it gets so small because of the angle you approach it in. But you do have looks from back there if you go long. And I thought I made that. Another one slightly off.
First birdie putt of the card, just low. Let's see if I can get the birdie. Same thing. Had a little bit of a low ceiling and just didn't really commit. Lawrence with the next birdie chance of the card. And he just lays it up. He didn't really feel too comfortable.
Okay, that was a layup. I didn't notice, I didn't hear him, so I was so surprised that it went that short, but a layup makes sense.
And Stani misses his C1 putt high.
Overcompensating for our putts.
And yeah, we're gonna have to settle for 4 pars after having 4 birdie putts, which I think is gonna be pretty rare. Not a lot of cards are gonna have that many birdie putts here, because it really is not the easiest tee shot and a super tricky approach. But yeah, just not good from us that no one connects. Let's see if we can correct that next round.
This tee is a bit further to the left because this area is flooded after the heavy rain on Friday, because of which the first round got cancelled. So you push a really long drive up here towards the hill, then you have a very, very steep backhand turnover line to this basket. If you get up far enough, you might have a sidearm hyzer, but most people will have to throw a very long turnover to get over there and around the trees.
Yes, pretty tough hole. The goal is really just to get up there as far as you can, in my opinion. It's not really that important to go far right. Laurens throws it pretty much exactly how you want. He's got a pretty good shot. I'm opting for a little bit more of a less aggressive line, sorry. I'm trying to just get it up there to the left and let it turn. I'm really more concerned about getting up there rather than to the right. And yeah, I just throw it too high.
But then again, you get up there pretty far too, so yeah.
Yeah, similar distance as Laurens, just way further left, so I'm just gonna have a lot more to work with into the green.
And you can't even guess how far those throws were, because it's way more uphill than the camera shows, and then most people land at the snow lands further down. So these drives, especially the ones from Leon and Laurens, are so crushed. No one in the field will get that far.
Stani sticking with his PD, so actually a pretty slow disc for a shot that needs a lot of distance.
But he hits it perfectly.
He gets it perfectly, and he's actually trying to go a little bit further right, I think, because he's maybe not feeling super comfortable with the long distance shots. And yeah, he just makes it work really well. He's gonna have a fairly simple, not simple, but he's just gonna have a backhand turnover. Nothing really in the way other than late at the basket.
I get to circus edge here with the sidearm. Just hung it out a bit too wide, but I have a look. And you opt to do the same. I think the backhand turnover is still the easier shot because you have this this slope, and when you throw the sidearm, you tend to lean down a bit more, and then you can't get enough power onto the drive, and you see it with your shot.
Yeah, I just left it a little bit too low. The line was pretty good, but I have also around 11 meters. And here's Stani opting for that backhand turnover.
And that's what I meant. To get it to pan back towards the basket, he executed that perfectly.
Laurens has a fairly simple forehand hyzer with the putter. Hit some really nice branches, and he's going to be parked for his birdie.
Imagine an eagle off this branch. It was close.
I'm around 12 or 13 meters here, and I have this log kind of hanging here, so I have to go over. And yeah, just a little bit too much. Gonna have to settle with a 7-meter par putt.
Maybe I was a bit further away than circus edge. But yeah. Oh, just airballing it. And then it stands up and rolls. I was so stressed out after that because I missed one putt before. And usually I'm pretty calm, but those two last putts. And luckily I make this one.
Great comebacker right there. Definitely don't want to bogey this one, I think. It's not the hardest hole out there.
At least when you got the distance.
Yeah. I'm also trying to secure my par here, somehow get it in. And Stani and Laurens are going to have very short birdie putts. Stani connects it dead center. And yeah, Laurens is not going to really have a putt. So 2 birdies, 2 pars on the card.
I think Laurens is now 5 under par, really separating himself not only from us but the whole field. And you two are +1, I'm +2, so still struggling, only 2 chances left to maybe get back to par or under. Hole 17 has this relief area on the right side to prevent you from going into this hillside. And you can take the main gap that the drone took, or you can take a really high backhand hyzer line over to the right. But this one risks not making it onto the hill if you pull it. So a bit more risk, a bit more power necessary. And Laurens gets lucky to drop to the left side and not down to the right.
Yeah, Laurens went with a distance driver, an overstable one, just trying to really swing it, and I think he just got it a little bit early. Kind of the first real big mistake we saw him make off the tee. Stani is throwing a little bit more towards the right, which is a little bit better. He just, yeah, gets a little bit unlucky towards the end.
Yeah, he pushed it a bit too far beyond the main gap. So you don't want to get past those trees, but just in front to spike it next to the basket.
Yeah, I'm going mid-range here, trying to get it a little bit, just to kind of get it to push.
And this was perfect.
Yeah, that was a pretty good shot. I'm gonna have probably 8 or 9 meters left for my birdie.
And I was surprised to see all of you going a bit lower. I'm definitely trying to throw my hyzer a bit higher. And I'm also going photon, so distance driver. Yeah, to just get the right angle and to get it to stall in there. Boom. Yeah.
That's absolutely perfect, as you said. You could clearly see the difference between our shots, where mine also landed near the basket, but mine just had so much speed that it kind of skipped, and yours with that high spike just really stuck. So perfect shot, perfect execution right there. Lawrence trying to save his par. Great shot right there.
Good scramble.
Very good scramble. Definitely don't want to bogey this one when you're already having such a good round like him. And yeah, he's gonna take a par.
Yeah, Stani still has a difficult approach. He can give it a run, but if he takes it too inside, he could end up with a tricky putt still. But he makes it around, and well, we'll settle for the par.
I have probably 7 or 8 meters here. Pretty scary putt with the headwind, and yeah, pretty frustrated as you can see. Just not having the best day today, but
yeah, we us three, except Lawrence, really felt the hole slipping away from us, like sand trickling through the fingers. The holes just ran out, and we missed too many birdies to get a decent score.
I luckily managed to hit my par putt, which was actually way further than my birdie putt.
This was impressive.
Got away with the par, same for Lowlands. So yeah, you're gonna take a stroke from the card. Stani cleans it up. And on to the last one, and this is a tough one.
Yeah, so for the first shot, if you want to get the birdie, you really have to get up to the top of the hill, and especially in those tough conditions, it's hard to do. And then you still have a very long downhill shot. The path is OB on the right side. Before you could see this glass wall, and there's also OB right of that. So you have to stay on the path, and to throw in there from the right side of the glass wall, you either have to throw over OB and risk having to take it pretty much from the tee, like I do. And I managed to do so, luckily. This was a good shot. I was very pleased with that one. Or you would go with the huge turnover line, which is also risky because it turns towards OB. So no real safe shot here if you want to get the birdie.
Yeah, Lowlands just kind of grip locked this one and missed the Mando. Would have been a far shot, but obviously doesn't count with the mandatory miss. So yeah, the drop zone is fairly nice to the player.
It's way too easy. For the most part of the field, it's pretty nice. But I forgot that if a player has two-stroke advantage on the last hole of the final round, then you could just throw it past there and have an open, hyzer shot from the top of the hill to the basket, and worst case, you'll take a bogey. So that was a big mistake in course design on my part. And yeah, Leon also going for the big turnover line, hitting it better than Lawrence, and that's just great to land over there, and you even get the trickle down to a good spot.
Yeah, I'm trying to hit this left side up there in the hill. I feel like that gives me the best risk and reward chances. Stani actually went with a little bit more of a straight shot, and as you can see, or as you could see, he's dead center in the middle of the fairway as well. So he definitely just took it a little bit safer, and now he has this pretty difficult second shot. Still, a long way to go, and he still has to clear this hill, which makes the height control super difficult. As you can see, that disc is like 30 meters up in the air, and yeah, he's gonna have a super tricky approach from the stairs.
I thought I could get there with a fireball, so a fairway, an overstable fairway driver on a hyzer line. But no, just don't have the distance. Also that late in the round, we were out there for 5 hours. So yeah, just no juice left to get it all the way to the basket.
Lawrence here from the... Definitely not an easy shot from the drop zone, but yeah, he can make it work. And he just goes a little bit left. He's gonna have probably 11 or 12 meters for his par. And I'm up there on the road. I still have to clear this hill that's in front of me. I'm just going standstill with my Justice, really trying to swing it out over the OB. And yeah, I was super happy with this shot. Landed really close, but with this ground play, I skipped to practically exactly circle's edge, so that's gonna be a tough putt for birdie.
Hard to have speed control on this ground. That's why I thought that I'd go with a spike hyzer, but yeah, that's the only way to stick it.
Stani here from a pretty funny spot, and he makes it work just fine. He's gonna have 5 or 6 meters for the par.
Trying to get one more highlight putt in. I should have taken the glitch, probably. I'm just not getting it up. Yeah, have to
We
say.
have Lowlands just laying up, taking the good round that he has. And yeah, he's gonna be leader of the clubhouse. And I have a birdie putt here, miss it low left. And yeah, that would have actually been the only birdie of the day. 0 birdies on the day on this hole. Not super surprising, it's a pretty tough hole. So par is very acceptable here.
Yeah, the rest of us tapping in for a +1 round. Lawrence being the only one in the tournament at -4 at that. So he has a 5-stroke lead in front of us. And we'll see in a second how the rest of the field did. Some tap-ins. Lawrence being happy to be done and also happy with his score, even though he gave one away on the last hole.
Yeah, kind of a weird round, in my opinion. One of the longest rounds I've ever played. It wasn't really a terrible rainy day, but it definitely did rain all around, so couldn't really do the normal routines and everything. But as you can see, Lowland's the only player in the field to really have a good first day. The 3 of us are gonna remain on lead card at +1, sitting 5 back of Lowlands. And since the first round got cancelled, we actually only have 1 more round left. So Lowlands is gonna have 5 strokes over us.
It's gonna be a sprint to the finish line. Definitely tune in tomorrow as well. And we'll see you on lead card action for the final round of the 2024 Austrian Championships.
See you next time.